Yep, as the title says, I'm going to beat Dragon's Dogma with the power of money. So
I decided to kill this dragon right behind me and save the world using my cash only.
well, but a bit later.
We are also going to crash this Hydra, Griffin, and other monstrosities that threaten people of Grantis and many, many more.
Oh, does it sound like Mr. Beast at all? I hope it does, because that's enough. And here are the rules. Hard mode, my only weapon is money, and feast and environmental stuff is allowed. No pawns, yeah, you heard it right. With one exception, but later about that. The run is over when I beat Seneschal and complete the game. And to kick things off, I visit Pablo's Inn to withdraw every item I have and immediately sell it like a degenerate gambling addict. I buy some herbs and some clothes because as an aspiring businessman, I need future investors to see a successful person in me and not just a fisherman. Right, after that I head over to the encampment to progress the story. This is where I face my first obstacle of the run. Soon I'll have 2 boss fights, and the problem is that I still can't use my money to deal damage. Not because I don't have it, but because I don't have a coin purse of charity, our core item for this run. It's a throwable item that deals a lot of damage in exchange for 10,000 gold pieces, and the easiest way to get this item is to buy it from Furnival, a merchant from the capital. But I can't reach the capital until I progress the story, and fortunately there is another way to get it. I can craft it. I know, the mechanic nobody uses in Dragon's Dogma is coming in clutch this time. The only possible combination of items I can get at this point to be able to craft a coin purse of charity are Warp Bugle and Priceless Artifact. Conveniently, you can find one Warp Bugle right at the camp, and Priceless Artifact can only be mined in Waterguard's altar, which I have access to even now. So I bought a pickaxe and ran to the Waterguard's altar, where thank God Waterguard. I found an ore right at the beginning of the location, not without difficulties, but still. The strat was simple. I run, mine, go back, repeat. If no priceless artifact, I die and repeat again. And it took some time. With that, 1 coin purse of charity is in my pocket. I probably could have waited for the ore to restore and grind as many as I needed, but first, I think it's boring and kinda ruins this early game challenge. And second, I'm a lazy bitch. So I decided to allocate the budget wisely, work smart, not hard. I have 1 coin purse and 2 bosses to kill, so the decision was made to leave the purse for Hydra, because Cyclops, let's be honest, it's not that epic of a boss to waste my one and only resource. I let the god do all the work and then lure the Cyclops into the fire to finish him off. My wise business decisions get acknowledged by the Rift Stone, and they give me my personal assistant that I get rid of as soon as I can. I return to Cassidy's to escort Madeline to the camp and invest in her small business. I did that to buy Conqueror's Periap to boost my strength and increase the damage of the coin purse. It didn't help. Appears to be the damage from coin purse scales from your basic strength stat, so Periaps, potions, augments don't work here, making the challenge a bit harder. Time to face Hydra, and since I had 1 chance, 1 opportunity, I had to make sure my shot would be as precise as it could be, and it wasn't. Not only didn't cut Hydra's head, it also did little to no damage. I decided to get to Hydra's head as close as I can and try again. The damage was better for sure, and I think I killed this poor guy, but it wasn't enough to cut the head in 1 hit, so while I was thinking whether I should try again or just finish the Hydra with my fists, archers did their thing and triggered the cutscene. And because saves in Dragon's Dogma kinda work like ass, I didn't want to restart the game, found materials for crafting and decided to proceed further since Technically, I did not break any rule, but that doesn't mean my life will get any easier soon. I have no coin purses, and my next quest is arguably one of the worst quests in gaming history, or in this challenge run at least. And this route is so long that no matter how many coin purses I'd farm, it wouldn't be enough. So I decided to go with none. And let me tell you, it was miserable. It took some time before I even was able to leave the breach area, which is, mind you, right at the start of this quest. I tried throwing enemies, throwing items at enemies, punching them, but usually one hit is all it took to kill me. At this point, I doubted all of my decisions, starting from the idea to the fact that I could have made my Mr. Jim Bear bigger and it might have helped here. The run had just started and I was almost ready to give up. From all of the strategies I tried, the most efficient one was to kick the orcs until we could get past the harpies and not wait for my followers. They'd spawn near after some time. The orcs would still lose its health from enemies' attacks, so I decided to utilize it to the maximum. And once I understood it couldn't be killed, I kicked the shit out of this poor animal, maneuvering through the enemies, occasionally hitting them with the explosives and my deadly punches. I am finally at the gates of Grand Soren. The first thing I do at Grand Soren is go to the Union Inn to withdraw everything I have here and change my trip to something more fitting my style. The road to the capital clearly showed the flaws of my build, so I decided to make myself as tanky as I can. Augments don't enhance the damage of my coin purses, but greatly improve my survivability, so my plan is to reach level 5 of Fighter Vacation, increase the maximum care and weight, and switch to Warrior right after. Going down the Everfall for free XP, a Pork Crystal, and head out with the Fairy Stone. Nothing special here. To get invited to the castle, we have to complete at least 2 quests given by Sir Maximilian, but we don't care about that right now. We finally reached the place that can help unlock our real power. I visit my new best friend Fornival to buy as many coin purses as I can carry. Additionally, I take his quest to evict innocent residents so that my buddy can sell the property and become even richer. But I am Mr. Beast after all, okay? So I decide to buy this property myself so that these people can stay. Power of money. Before proceeding further with the storyline, I decided to visit the Bitter Black Isle for 2 reasons. One, to get more money using some shady tactics, some may call it that, but you know, money is money. And to get a few levels, since the higher the level, the bigger the damage from the coin purses. And how do I do so if I'm clearly underleveled? Well, I run. So I bought more mushrooms and ran to the Duskmoon Tower. Here I sneak through the closed doors with some amazing gear using the barrel skip and sell it right away, since none of these are useful to me except the Perseverance ring. I equipped that for faster discipline points farm. Financial stability done, and what do I do next? You guessed that right. I stood no chances against all those enemies, so my goal was to reach the geyser and use Martyr's talisman that I bought from Baroque at the last hit to double the experience. The plan is simple. Get to the stairs, wait for geyser to come closer, throw coin purses and try not to fall down. Optionally. It'll stuck in a loop and will use a really powerful attack that could be a huge problem. Unless you just look away. So as soon as it starts using tentacles, I go under the geyser and let it hit itself, finishing it off with a few throws of coin purses. With that, I get 18 free levels and call it a day. At level 5 of Fighter Vacation, I unlock Sinew and switch to Warrior, adding Bastion to my augments list. And let me tell you, that was a game changer. But later about that. I went to Fornival to buy more purses, but pressed the wrong button and accidentally hit him with my leg, which resulted in me being thrown to jail. Kinda rude of him, but sure. I bribe my way out with money and come back. Furnival asks to spend some time with his daughter because he has no time for that, and Mr. Bean would never say no to that, although it kinda looks suspicious, and I had to explain to the guard that nothing strange was going on here. Replenishing my supplies, and I am ready to leave Grand Sovereign and find the Dragon Forge to complete one of the missions given by Sir Maximilian.
Turn out your pockets and be quick about it!
I know I should save my coin purses, but it was too fun, to do it. And check this out, these guys literally do no physical damage to me because of the Bastion. Finding the Dragon Forge was a matter of time if you knew where to search, so I quickly finished the quest and went to the Shadow Fort. I've chosen this quest because I thought I'd found my discipline points here, and it was just a fun quest, so I cleared the location a bit by myself and let the rest in. Killing the main goblin wasn't a problem at all. I come back to Grand Soren and find out that my man Furnival was accused of some bad things. Totally unbiased, I gather all the evidence of Furnival's innocence and prepare everything for the Griffin encounter. I was hyped about this quest, remembering this whole exciting chase sequence at the Blue Moon Tower, but Griffin died in a few throws, which is kind of underwhelming. And thinking about that, even the guy who's stolen Duke's ring not only didn't die until it ended his speech, but also made me follow him to the same Blue Moon Tower to listen to his whole ass speech once again.
You've come to your journey's end!
And die from another throw. I return the ring and take another quest, accompany Mercedes, where all I need to do is to stand still and listen to the conflict that does not have any effect on the main quest whatsoever.
Accept this token. I haven't much to give, but
I mean, at least I get some cash. Then this guy thinks it's funny to send me through the whole map just to ask me to come back as soon as I get there, and now I had to fight this cockatrice? And why is this guy having so much fun? Where even are you? I beat your giant cock. Okay, no, that's no. I beat your cockatrice to death and I'll do it again. Well, okay, no, that's again sound. I need to work on my wording. And I report to the castle about my achievements, omitting details. And the Duke pays me a good coin for my skilled hands. I should just stop. And after all the preparation is done, to the Great Wall of we go to observe arguably the best cutscene in the entire game. But before that I need to defeat these two priests, and usually it's not a problem, and not that now it's become a huge problem. It's just to defeat these priests I have to be lucky enough to be able to kill both of them as fast as I can until they blow up, where my purses can't reach them. All I had to do is to aim right. So a few and at the same time already too many embarrassing tries after, I get lucky and priests decide to group close enough for me to understand this is the run. So I rush over to them and in one throw end both of their lives. I know this is not the boss to be proud of beating, but that felt good. And as a reward, we can now all watch this scene.
This is salvation!
And I decided to beat Bitter Black Isle at least once before confronting Grigori, because honestly at this point it's hard to call this run a challenge run, Even without grinding I'm already pretty OP, and something tells me Bitter Black Isle should humble me. Running through everything, there is not a boss, and soon enough I'm ready to face the Dragon Priest. The fight did not seem really hard. The dragon dies of 2 throws, and as long as I'm able to evade priest attacks I'm fine, but looking at the health bar made me question my chances. My carrying capacity lets me have around 18 coin purses, and that is clearly not enough to kill the priest, so I back up and decide to bring back my assistant. Wait, I know what you think. You can't use spawns to help you kill the boss, and I know. I'll just use her as my backpack that will carry the rest of the coin purses. She won't even be able to attack, so I hope it's fine and we have a firm handshake that it's not against the rules. Go on, put your hand in front of the screen and shake my hand. The pose is getting really uncomfortable, please. Okay, alright. I'd even say it gave me a bigger headache. Now I need to make sure she doesn't die till I take all the purses from her inventory. And with that, I gave myself a few tries and finally beat the Dragon Crest. Next goal is Damon. But before that, I come back, restock my resources, add some fashion to my pawn so that other players recruit her and give me more Rift Crystals. Come back to the BBI. Run again, kill the Ice Knight after a few random one-shots, and I am ready to face Damon. Oh, I forgot my pawn. Okay, now I am ready to face Damon. Oh man. Damon is hard. I did not try hard on a boss in a long time. Almost every hit is a confirmed one-shot kill. One mistake and you're done. Not only that, during his first phase, his weakest spot is his head. A head that I can't reach with my throws from the ground. Even with the purses that my pawn carries, if I don't find a way to hit his head, the amount that I have won't be enough to kill him. This and the Ox quest might be my lowest I've been at during this challenge run, and I think Damon might be almost as miserable as the Ox quest, but there must be a way, and I've started trying. Since my throws more or less have horizontal trajectory, all I have to do is to place myself so that Damon's head is not above but on my level. Some of his attacks do provide such scenarios, but the openings for throws are too short and not that effective. And if Damon can't get down to my level, I just need to go up to his. And to my luck, the arena does have a few places that can help me achieve that. The most effective one appeared to be this pillar. It's easy to get up here and run away if I need to dodge an attack or spell. It has its flaws like not letting me stand still and slide down in the most crucial moments, which resulted in a lot of lost opportunities, but I had to work with what I had. Trying again and again helped me to learn his moveset and find the best openings for throws. One-shot kills were really frustrating though, which resulted in me being more impatient and greedy, which resulted in me being even more frustrated, especially when it was too close to victory. Hours later, I had our fight divided into 3 parts that had their own strategies. First of all, I head over to the pillar and try to throw my purses deliberately at the head. If I'm lucky enough, I can make up to 4 successful throws back to back. My whole play takes place around this pillar, and as I take enough of his health, Damon goes to the center, initiating his vortex. This is the beginning of phase 2, because after the vortex, he'll be vulnerable for a brief moment and take more damage. It is important to either not let your pawn die here or take all the purses it has, since if it gets into vortex, they're dead. The vortex ends and I rush in all speed to Damon. I start blasting my coin purses in his body as fast as I can. In that phase, I'm trying to do as much damage as I can, because after that starts phase 3. I've tried to stick to the pillar strat here, but it doesn't work that well. The boss is more active and uses more spells that require a lot of movement. Here I start actively move and fight Damon with what is left, hoping that I'll have enough coin purses to finish him off. I use potions to cure all the debuffs and increase my max health so that I have a chance of survival after a small mistake. It is important to stay at full health here, so if any of his attacks land, I immediately heal. The less health he has, the more stressed I become, making me miss a few throws when every throw counts. With that, I've managed to get really far, to the point where I almost have no heals Damon has a ridiculously small amount of HP and 1 coin purses in my inventory. I've learned not to be greedy, but this was the last chance. Either now or never. I see him going up, I know the attack that is to come, and instead of running away to the safe place, I go all in and decide to dodge it. I rush towards Damon while he's recovering from the attack and throw my last coin purse. If I miss, I have to start all over again. I can't describe what a roller coaster of emotions I've experienced within these 2 seconds. But what I can tell for sure is that I'm not doing it again. I know it's an unspoken rule to kill Damon with 2 phases, but with 2 of these health bars, hell nah, don't care. Might change my mind if you write a lot of comments about it, but that's unlikely. It is time to face Grigory in the final battle. While running there, I was wondering who's going to be my beloved. I was pretty sure we're gonna see my bestie Fonny while running from goblins. He was the person I talked to the most, but oh boy, how wrong was I. I immediately have flashbacks of me accidentally hitting Furnival. A silly mistake that cost me everything. Let's just fight Grigory. And the whole fight is amazing. The cinematic experience you get from this fight is something you rarely can get in other games, but it wasn't hard, especially after Damon. And not that it's bad, at least I had time to enjoy it. By the time we go to the Tainted Mountain Peak, I still had plenty of coin purses. While Grigory was in the air, I shot him with the ballista. By this time, I have already mastered the art of throwing, and soon Grigory was ready to fall. The only thing I didn't know is that I can't kill him with a coin throw, so as soon as I waste all of the coin purses left, I decided to climb the dragon and finish him off with my bare hands. And for certain reasons, we are not going to watch this cutscene till the end. God, it's so bad. I wake up at the Cassidy's and run away with my eyes closed to finish the game, and to do so I need to get 20 wake stones, but before that I pay a visit to the Duke to return his dirty money, since we now know how he became the Duke of Grances. After that I started farming wake stones, visiting different chambers in the Everfall. Having all 20 wake stones ready, I enter Essential's chamber to confront what people of Grances may call a god.
Defeat me.
Okay.
Let us continue.
And I don't need to tell you how easy it was, you already know that. I'm not even sure this boss fight could be somewhat hard, but never mind, my will is strong and Seneschal reveals his true desire.
Come, Arisen.
Jesus Christ, you're gross, man, just Godsbane yourself. And with that, the challenge is officially over. I beat Dragon's Dogma using the power of money on a hard difficulty. I got an achievement right here, see? And planning this run, I did not expect it to turn out the way it did. I had troubles where I couldn't even imagine I would have, so that was for sure a refreshing and fun experience. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to check another fun challenge run, but in Dark Souls Remastered, where I cut bosses' tails with just a bow. It's a good one. And this lore video about Savan and other Duke from the Dragon's Dogma lore. If you need more Dragon's Dogma content, leave your suggestions for other challenge runs in the comments, and see you in the next one.